It's called a road train. This 50-metre giant cost £500,000, and today it's carrying 120,000 litres of fuel towards the Tropic of Capricorn and the town of Newman. Graham Wilcox, owner of the Capricorn Roadhouse, the local petrol station, was giving me a lift. He's making a small fortune out of the extraordinary resource boom gripping the area. Can you just explain to me what is this resource boom? What is happening in this resource boom?
Well, it's all the minerals in the ground around this area. It's all the iron ore, which goes to make steel, and the countries like China and India that are starting to lead the world market, they need the resources to make the steel. We've got the iron ore that makes it. And like 10 years ago, there were 6 mines in this area. Now there's 18. So with China going, they say China's going to go for another 8 years, and by that time India will be online, and we'll go for another 10 years after that. So the resource boom for Australia is looking good.
Just up ahead, there's a sign by the side of the road that says Tropic of Capricorn. Ah, fantastic! I feel we have to... We're on the line. Okay. Well, thank you very much indeed for that ride, Graham. Much appreciated.
My pleasure, Simon. Hope you enjoyed your trip down to Capricorn in a road train.
We're back on Capricorn. Fantastic. Newman, the town at the heart of the resources boom. Workers are flooding here from all over Australia to make a quick buck. Well, you can see they're bringing in houses on the back of trucks now because there's such a need for accommodation in this town to try and cope with all the influx of new workers. And this is what the boom is all about. Mount Whaleback is the world's largest iron ore mine. It's more than 3 miles long and a mile wide. Each year they dig up 22 million tons of iron ore to send to Asia to make steel to feed the world economy. People from across the country are packing in office jobs and coming here to drive huge mining trucks for huge pay packets. Justin Edwards is one of them.
What brought you here?
Money.
In a nutshell?
Money, yeah.
What were you doing before you came here?
Bricklayer. Then I tried to get out of the physical work side of things and get into suit jobs. I did sales, and then I got done become a recruitment agent for a bit, and then yeah, it just didn't suit me. I'm not a suit person at all.
You're originally from Melbourne. How did you hear about Newman?
I actually had a mate I worked in sales with about 5 years ago, and I didn't hear of Newman until about January, halfway through January this year, and the end of February I was here just to try it out.
As quickly as that?
Yeah. But since we've been here, like it was originally going to be me and a partner here for 2 years, and now we really can't see ourselves leaving in the short term. Might turn that into 5 or 6 years because it's just so cruisy, you know, better lifestyle too.
Justin drives the monster of all dump trucks. In a country where wages are lower than in the UK, workers here can earn £50,000 to £75,000 a year.
This is your truck?
It is. This is mine for today. Before we start, we have to walk around the truck for any damage. Walk under here.
You walk under the truck?
Look at the engine, all the way along there, any oil leaks or anything like that.
This is the engine up here? These beasts, when full, weighing at nearly 400 tons, the same as a fully laden jumbo jet. I left Justin to go and work his shift and headed down to the railway yard.
So in front of us just here is the end, or at the moment it's going to be the front of a huge train. Trains from here are the longest, heaviest in the world.
Trains leave the mine every day, each filled with around 26,000 tonnes of iron ore.
This iron ore down here is going to be sent to the coast, it's going to be put onto boats, taken to China and turned into consumer goods that China is pumping out at this ferocious rate. It's extraordinary really, because this is globalisation. This is what is feeding this great Chinese economy that's emerged in the last few years. It's these raw materials like this coming out of the ground here in Australia.
As the train headed off north, I continued my journey east. I followed Capricorn into another country-sized chunk of Australia, the Northern Territory. We flew to Alice Springs in the baking centre of the continent. Around 600 miles from the nearest beach, this is the centre of the outback. Alice is home to more than 24,000 Aussies living the desert life in air-conditioned comfort. As we explored the town, I came across a refuge for one of the country's most famous residents.
We've just spotted on the other side of the road this kangaroo rescue centre, a baby kangaroo rescue centre. We've got to have a look.
Joey's orphaned on the roads around Alice, are cared for by Chris Barnes, outback man turned surrogate kangaroo mum.
What are the names of these two?
Well, this little one here is Tilly Grace, and this little one here is Amy. So one little girl, this little one's about 5.5, 6 months, and the other one's about 6.5, 7 months, at a guess. Once you've got them in a pouch and you hold them to your body, the breathing and the warmth of your body, that motion of the body, just calms them right down. You don't have them in the bag, they're going to kick you in the face. So
I've got to ask, can I hold one next to my little beating chest?
Certainly, mate, certainly.
Right?
Well, I'll pass Amy on to you. Just make sure she doesn't kiss you.
Does she often try that?
She can do. She does with me and my partner, because we're mum, and baby kangaroos actually do take a lot of saliva from their mother's mouth.
How far does your devotion go?
We take it all the way, and I've given up my job now. I don't work anymore other than running the Kangaroo Rescue Centre to talk with travellers. That's the whole idea, trying to educate people to the fact that a dead animal out here is not just a dead animal. It could have a baby still alive in its pouch.
So check the pouch.
Check the pouch.
Kangaroos have an unfortunate habit of jumping out in front of cars. We'd been warned against driving at night because of the high chance we'd hit one. Chris takes in about 80 joeys a year, hand-rearing them to 16 months until they're ready to go back into the bush. Alice Springs is becoming famous as an important centre for Aboriginal paintings and culture. Aboriginal people have been here for tens of thousands of years, and their extraordinary artwork adorns gallery walls around the town. The paintings are internationally prized, with price tags to match.
This is number 8, so this is about £11,000. Okay, 12's not too bad. It's still costly, it's about 1,500 quid. This is about £4,000, about £3,000. Number 52. I mean, it is fantastic, but that is about £20,000.
Vince Forrester, an artist and Aboriginal elder, agreed to take me to visit some remote communities. He lives an integrated life with his wife in Alice Springs and campaigns hard for Aboriginal rights. And he hasn't lost touch with the outback traditions. On the way out of Alice, he thought he'd spotted something in the undergrowth.
You see him? He's about that long.
What were you looking for, Vince?
I was looking for a 20.
Goanna.
A lizard about this long.
Right.
And when we see one, you can hypnotise him.
You can do what?
You can hypnotise him, eh? When he walk along, you say word, ulbulu, ulbulu, ulbulu. And he turns his head that way so you can hit him. Get him.
And is it good eating?
Oh, white meat, like chicken. Yep. But lot gamier, of course, and it's not as tender as a chicken.
We were too late for any hypnotism. The lizard had got away. But Vince took the opportunity to stock up on a bit of bush medicine.
When you have a wound that will not stop bleeding, you put this in the hot ash of the fire, then you run the smoke over the wound. This will congeal the blood, stop the bleeding, but also got antiseptic in it.